You are now listening to the Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.
Welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name is RJ.
And hey guys, my name is Andrew. Today, we're talking about Descendants 4.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
I mean, honestly, like at this point, we've talked Descendants 1. We talked Descendants 2.
Dos.
We talked Descendants 3.
3.
So, yeah, of course, we're going to talk Descendants 4.
4.
Why not?
Quattro.
Let's go.
Let's go.
It came out this year.
This year.
Disney original.
OG Disney.
But before we dive into that.
Pause. Well, I don't mean pause the recording. I mean pause. Before we dive in, you sound like you got something to say.
Jeez, dude.
What?
Before we do that,
Yeah, pause.
we're the Backseat Critics. We
Yeah.
talk about
Mhm.
movies.
Movies.
Any sort of like things you want to know about pop culture on the media, movie, TV show side. We talk about it.
We talk about it.
We talk about some quiz questions. We talk about like things we like and dislike about movies.
We talk movies. Bad movies. Really, really bad movies. And bad movies.
Occasionally a good movie.
Yes. Every now and then. But
Uh
mostly bad movies.
so why don't you give us a recap of Descendants 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3. We have this magical land where your Disney characters are alive. And basically, you have the good guys on one island and the bad guys on the one bad island. And then the bad guys' kids come over to the good island. They're like, hey, do you do school? And then basically from there, they're like, nah, we're here to do evil things. And then the good guy kids are like, you kids aren't that bad. You guys can actually be here, And then they turn them and make them good kids. And that's Descendants 1.
The reason I'm laughing is because that's also Descendants 2 and 3.
Yep. And then Descendants 2, the bad kids
Uma.
decide, you know what? We're going to bring more bad kids to the island. So they bring more bad kids to the island.
Yeah.
But then Dove Cameron's character, Mal, decides, you know what? I need to go back to the bad island because I don't belong on the good island. So she goes back to the bad island. And then she goes, you know what? I'm making a mess. And then all of a sudden, Uma, she forgets her name quite a bit.
She does.
What's my name? What's my name? She then turns into a giant octopus and they fight. And Mal turns into a dragon. And we have cinematic history.
Octopus versus Dragon. Game of Thrones. Step aside.
Dragon wins. Uma leaves. That's Descendants 2.
Okay, I'm sorry. We got to back up here.
What?
What's up with the glasses?
What's wrong with the glasses? What's wrong with the glasses?
What's up with the glasses?
I'm wearing glasses.
You
I'm telling the history of Descendants.
you look like a villain from an 80s snowboarding movie.
Yeah? And?
Here, let's swap.
Nope. I like my pit vipers. Thank you very much. And then we go into Descendants 3. Hades gets involved. That's right. Hades gets involved. And more bad kids come over to the island.
Yeah.
And then they tear down the bridge and say, everybody can come to the island.
And Uma's like, what's my name?
Oh, actually, let's go back just a second. One of the good kids turn evil, a.k.a. Sleeping Beauty's daughter. Really, the good guys in the story are evil. With the villain's parents. They're the villains.
Really, everyone is evil.
I think there's some good apples in these stories. But then that leads us into Descendants 4. Ben and Mal are on a trip with Evie. And we get left with Uma, the gal who doesn't know her name, running
She remembered
It's
her
cool.
name this time.
Oh no, she made the song when she announced herself as principal. She walked in and said, "What's my name? What's my name?"
Well, she didn't do the usual slide.
And they went, "Ooh, and that leads us at Descendants 4, though.
Let's talk about that. Descendants 4.
Yes,
This came out what? At this point, 6 years after the last Descendants? Descendants 3 was
Sure.
like 2018?
sure.
Let me
You got some
Descend-
editing to do now.
dense. No, this is all staying in. This is all staying in.
This is
2019.
evil.
Okay, so 5 years.
Okay, we got 5
It's
years.
been 5 years since the last Descendants. And Cameron Boyce from the first 3
Passed away.
he's passed away.
Rest in peace.
Which they do a little nod to that
They
for
do.
half a second.
They do. I think those are real tears on Uma.
You're blinding me with those glasses.
Deal with it. Those are real tears. You can tell the fairy godmother was a little choked up
which,
too.
like, should have this movie been made?
Should this have been made? I think it's a cash grab.
100%.
100%. I mean, you throw out the Descendants name, I think kids are gonna love it.
So Descendants 4, Rise of Red.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. I'm going to do the 1-minute summary. Time me.
Boom, 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 go.
Come on. Chicka, 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 chicka.
You're going.
Are you counting seconds in your head?
Yes.
Okay, so
You got 55.
don't say it out loud.
That's okay, because now you're at 50.
Okay. Want to make sure. So Descendants 4, Rise of Red is Descendants 1, 2, and 3, where the villains have to basically, they go back in time to change the Queen of Hearts from being evil and killing Cinderella.
40 seconds.
And they do that, and they become friends, and the Queen of Hearts no longer wants people's heads cut off. And that's the movie.
30 seconds.
We're just going to sit in silence.
You forgot the best part of the song. Or best part of the movie.
We want revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Hit him
The
with
best part was
revenge.
the Let's talk about that.
Okay, what part?
What's your favorite set piece?
Ooh.
Because this movie went overboard on like the CG budget compared to past movies. The whole Alice in Wonderland, Red Castles kind of world was like, it looked 100% CG.
It
It looked
pretty
like
cool,
a PlayStation 1 game.
A little bit better.
PlayStation 2?
Probably PlayStation 3. Yeah. PlayStation 2 is as good as you thought it was. Graphics wise, that is. Some games actually. Kingdom Hearts had pretty good graphics. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, I enjoyed Wonderland. I don't know, because it's kind of hard to tell because I enjoyed.
I don't know if you got the jokes, folks.
I got the jokes. But
Even from down here, the jokes are flying right over his head.
Okay.
I'm throwing shade and he can't even see it because he's wearing the sunglasses.
We're bringing footage to this now, and we gotta throw on some stunners. Gotta throw on some shades. Gotta look cool for the camera.
Yeah. Look at that, folks.
Only cool kids wear
Glasses.
sunglasses. You have glasses on? Why can't I have glasses on? It's a fair argument.
When we finish this podcast, I'm turning all the lights off.
Bet. I am gonna go. I really did enjoy Merlin's little office with the owls and everything flying around, but it gave me that Harry Potter vibes.
It did. This whole movie kind of gave me some like legally not Harry Potter.
Some parts, yes. Some parts. I did enjoy the little, I guess, the bad guy hideout thingy-mabobber.
Yeah, that was the one that I was going to say.
The fish thing?
It had like the gulper eel, anglerfish kind of.
The shout out to Flotsam and Jetsam.
Shout out to was it the water temple from Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, sure.
The villain's castle was this giant gulper eel, had the little light sticking out over top, and they would walk into its mouth. It had a fleshy wall that the heroes were able to kind of cut the flesh and puke into, and the villains do their little dance routine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a vibe.
It is a vibe. So what do you think is going to happen next?
Are you already out of topics?
Am I already out of topics?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What do you mean? What I think is going to happen next?
Well, they left it off as the story's not finished yet. And Uma gave us her evil
No.
look again.
They left off as the story's not finished yet as a safe bet.
To make sure that they can make
100%.
another Descendants movie.
They may or may not, depending how viewership goes and how much money they make back on the movie.
I guarantee you they made enough money on this.
Then we'll see a Descendants 5. If we didn't,
We'll see
then it's closed off enough.
We'll see. No, we're going to see another one.
How are we going to see another one? What was the cliffhanger? Explain the cliffhanger.
Here's the cliffhanger. We went back in time.
Yeah.
We got 4 villains busted.
Yeah.
And now one of their family members are the principal of the school.
She was already a villain. Do you think she's going to go back to that? We're going to go back down that road?
You know, it's one of those things. They altered time. They altered history. You don't think she's plotting now? You don't think she's a plotter? Everybody in this movie is plotting something.
I don't really see it.
Sorry, the back of the chair is going ding into my spine. So, no, it's okay. I'm okay.
Here, lean forward.
No,
Lean forward.
I get it. I'm old.
Lean forward. Is that better?
No, I feel like I'm just like late for. Maybe a little bit. It's terrible. How about the music?
Stay tuned next episode, folks.
Archie gets a better chair. I'm gonna do this. How many times can I do this?
Donate to $Hero Bob and just put in the description at Backseat Critics so we could pay for another chair.
$1. What are you doing now?
This is what I'm sitting on.
Yeah, you deserve that.
It's actually kind of cozy.
Sometimes it starts to hurt the butt once in a while.
It starts to hurt the butt?
It hurts the butt. Hurts the cheeks. My cheeks hurt on that thing every so often. It's like, and I start to fall backwards because my butt slowly sinks into it.
Right.
Maybe I just got butt problems.
Yeah.
Butt problems.
I've sat in this thing a lot and never had a problem. I'm coming out with fisticuffs today.
It's because I have glasses. So how about the music in this?
Okay.
A lot.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of bass I recognized.
Yeah, so all the songs are basically like sub bass in instruments and like one instrument, like piano, keys, guitar, I think, and then one level of percussion, either a clap, snare, or tom drums. And that was it.
I think
a lot of bass. A lot of bass.
There was a song in the third movie where Sleeping Beauty's daughter, when she turned evil.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like that. There's like one song where it wasn't that, and that it was straight up like a ripoff from Zombie Vibes.
Okay.
Like the one where they're all happy sharing cupcakes and all that great stuff. But then I feel like outside of that, though, most of it seems like a callback to that third one, because then they'd add these little like speaking parts. I wouldn't call it a rap necessarily.
Okay.
But they had that like little like speaking bit inside the song about whatever's going on. So I think they tried to mimic that song. I'm not sure if that song was a very successful song in the third one, but apparently it was, because they love to try to mimic that the whole time, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I I keep thinking back to like the first and second movies. I don't remember a whole lot about the third, if I'm being honest.
Oh, the third one's fun. Check it out.
But like I remember there being more life and depth to the songs. They weren't necessarily good, but there's more variation and more depth.
No, there's no variation
with
here.
instruments that were being used, and here it's just bass.
Not to mention,
And then they throw. Sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
they're throwing in like rap bits.
That's what I was saying. Like a speaking bit,
but there's no flow.
No, it's like
there's no flow. There's like 3 stanzas between the rhymes.
Yeah, I think
it's like, what are we doing? We have some trap beat going on, and then we're like kind of rhyming you with 2, maybe.
And then we also have the fact that the singers or the actors are not the ones singing. I feel like.
No,
I feel like some of the actors did, some of them did not, and you could tell their voices were way too off.
There was one point when Red and the Queen first show up to Oregon.
Oregon, yes.
And they're singing in the cab.
That's what we do in Oregon.
And
we sing in the cab.
We sing in the cab. And they're clearly just like doing this.
Oh yeah, that's where I first recognized it. Actually, was in that one.
And the vocals were so off.
Oh yeah, you could tell.
And it's you know that they just hear the song from a distance being played on a speaker, like 10, 20 feet away out of camera shot.
Yep.
So they can lip sync to it and do their choreography. But in that, they're just making mouth sounds.
Yep.
Maybe kind of whispering some of the lyrics. But like,
it was bad. It was bad there.
I didn't feel like it was this bad in the first 3 movies.
No. It was definitely bad. This one is, yeah. This movie does take a dark turn.
Just one more thing, like,
oh, we can go move.
Like as far as like the first 3 didn't have the greatest of songs, but they were better than this, and they were better done.
Well, let me hit you with this question: would you rather listen to Descendants soundtrack or Zombie soundtrack?
Oh, Descendants.
Exactly. I think Descendants probably has one of the better Disney Channel original movie soundtracks. Not Disney soundtracks, Disney Channel original movie soundtracks.
Yeah. But I'm saying overall, in the scope of music,
sure,
it's not the greatest. But
it's
like
Disney Channel movie,
Disney Channel original. It's yeah. Those were particularly bad. But then like the effects, I felt like they didn't upgrade that at all.
No, it felt
from this movie to the last movie, but there was so much more of it in this movie than there was in the last 3 movies.
They brought in more CGI. Definitely, they definitely brought in
so much more CGI, and it just didn't belong.
There's a cool effect, like a camera.
Like, these were like Commodore 64 graphics.
There's a camera shot that
like they're all like beep boop.
There's a camera shot I actually enjoyed with the hit him with the revenge song. It was like a quick like weird sway thing that they did.
Yeah.
For just a brief second. But I thought it was kind of cool.
Where they kind of stood still and like shifted their feet side to side.
And you can kind of see like the camera just kind of, I don't know. It was cool. I enjoyed that. But outside of that, there wasn't really much to the graphics.
No, like I forget the Ursula's sister.
Yep.
She had a lot of moments where the tentacles were coming out of her back, but then the camera would pan around and you notice the tentacles would kind of like drift a little.
I think so. I mean, there's probably like, oh, we gotta get that money so we can keep on pumping things out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I guess so.
Looking at you, Star Wars.
Jeez,
that's all they do.
I have not seen that. I'm looking for some fun facts here.
What was your as you're looking that up?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the new characters that we get introduced to?
What was my thoughts of the new characters?
Mm-hmm. Compared to the old characters.
They lacked depth. What do I mean by that? I felt like, was it the queen, Red?
Mhm.
Was Red the queen or was Red the daughter?
I think that was the daughter.
Okay. The queen, she goes on some spiteful revenge quest, beheading people because she turned into a goblin for a bit in high school. And there wasn't really any depth beyond that for her to be a villain, and that just didn't add up for me. And even like the daughter, it's like, yeah, she's kind of hesitant to like killing people, but she's also like not really bought into other things. And I get like she's kind of finding herself, but like she wasn't really like established, I felt like.
Okay.
One of the things I think that the first three Descendants did well comparatively to this was they established that there's a separation of the two kingdoms, the little villain kingdom and the other kingdom, the Oregon. And
Yep. Good old Oregon.
um
Portland, Oregon.
and the little villains island, it's like they were spiteful because they were outcast and kind of shunned. And kind of in the second movie, there's like that was a kind of like villain pride. We gotta stick together as villains, and these are the like
Chosen kids.
right,
Chosen villain kids.
right. So like that kind of makes more sense because there's a bigger dynamic at work there. There's more like a give and take between like the heroes being like, hey, these people are dangerous, let's cut them all off, and the villains reacting to that. That makes sense. Somebody in high school being turned into a goblin for a minute. We saw Ursula's sister get turned into a bird person for like a minute, maybe two.
Eating too many flamingo feathers.
Right. And so we're to assume that the queen, the Queen of Hearts or whatever, just went full like full dictator, chopping people's heads off because
Based
she
off
got
that.
off a 2-minute bad experience in high school.
You know, I think we got to read into that situation a little more.
I think you're arguing. Well, all right.
I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate here.
Okay.
I think in that situation that we got to think she has no friends.
Yeah.
She only has Cinderella as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You get picked on and bullied. Now she goes to the lower tier. She feels like she doesn't have any friends or anybody can be on her side. Because she says that during that Cinderella's gone away, so she doesn't have her security blanket. When she's trying to be nice to everybody, yeah, I can see how that could turn into a bad situation. And she probably gets bullied more throughout the school year.
I just like we don't like that's so much conjecture. That's so much just like
That's a lot. I mean, you could probably play on to that in the movie if you really wanted to, and actually kind of show scenes where it
but
did
that's
turn
what
a
you
lot
do.
sour.
That's what you do.
But
Is you show stuff.
but they only
You show how
have
somebody
90 minutes.
gets that point.
Yeah.
Right. But you write a story where the villain makes sense.
Listen though, if we did that, we don't have all these cool songs about how to hit them with their revenge. So definitely, this is why the evil queen the Queen of Hearts turns this way. While Andrew's trying to recover himself, I would like to point out the fact in this movie. They do a quick callback. They bring back Brandy as Cinderella, and then they bring back the guy who plays Prince Charming from Brandy's Cinderella that was back in the 90s, is made for TV. Jason Alexander's in it. I believe Whoopi Goldberg's in it. So definitely give that a check. It'll be on a Backseat Critics watch list soon.
For sure.
Oh, Andrew's back. Thank you.
Man, I have a blanket thing back here, and I thought I was gonna hit it.
You missed it. Far left.
I thought I was also gonna like have my arms back a little bit faster.
You missed that. Far left.
Whew. I just give myself the Heimlich maneuver.
As you should.
All right. So I was going to talk about some fun facts, but like, you know what? So first off, this movie continues a tradition of ending the movie with the famous line,
Hit him with the
Quote,
revenge.
"You didn't think this was the end of the story, did you?"
This is not the first time they did this to us in Descendants.
It's an easy cop
Not
out.
the first time.
It's an easy cop out. So, who were the two people? Who were the two cast members
Yes.
to reprise their roles that were in previous movies for the Descendants, previous Descendants movies? Who were the two people?
Uma and the fairy godmother.
It was so easy, right?
It's the only people you see in it.
There's a lack of facts here, lack of fun facts, lack of trivia. That was awesome.
And that was Descendants 4.
What's if they were to do Descendants 5 and expand out into another kind of world of Disney, where would you want them to go?
Oh, man. That is a great question. Considering this is straight Disney and I can't go into the Pixar realm because we haven't touched that yet in this.
No.
This is straight Disney. I think we need to go... Atlantis.
I'm with you there. I can get behind that. Atlantis would be fun.
I think when we get to Descendants 10 or 11, we need to touch on
We're just going to spend 6 movies in Atlantis.
Treasure Planet. I think somehow they'll figure out how to get to space. But I'm going to go with Treasure Planet on that one. But I think Atlantis I could see being fun.
I could see Atlantis being fun. My ape brain was going towards Tomorrowland, something in that kind of realm.
Oh, like actually one of... Okay, so they
It's because
actually...
we've introduced time travel at this point.
I think
Let's get some people either coming from the future or get some people going to the future.
it'd be kind of cool if they brought in the lands from Disneyland. If that's the case, what land would you choose?
The Animal Kingdom one.
The Animal Kingdom, so like the actual park. I think that could be another fun one. Somehow tie in Pride Rock.
Yeah. Jungle Book.
I would love to see them bring in New Orleans Square.
Okay.
Because that's where I guess you can tie in the pirates because there's pirates in this
I was
already.
gonna say there's so many pirates.
There's so many pirates, but then the Haunted Mansion.
That's fair.
What if they tied in the Haunted Mansion into this? This could get...
Let's get some zombies.
This could get spooky.
Let's get some zombies and ghosts.
We don't need no more zombies. No more Disney zombies, please. We're done with those. Please do not bring those back.
Yeah.
Let's continue with the Descendants. If we're going to have to bring one back, we'll continue with Descendants. I don't care if we go into space. Let's just continue with Descendants. We have a good, happy ending with aliens and zombies. We're done. And Wendigos.
What are your final thoughts on this?
This is probably, in my opinion, not the worst Descendants. There was a lot wrong with it, but I kind of liked the tie-in. I kind of enjoyed some of the characters. I think this is the second worst.
What's the worst?
The second one.
Okay.
Second one's the worst one to me. So I think the songs could be better in this one, but I did kind of enjoy just
the general flow of things.
A little bit. I know it was short. I knew it was hectic, and I knew they ended things fast. We thought that there was going to be another twist at the end.
Yeah, we did.
We were sitting there waiting. We're like, okay, where's the twist? No twist. Hearts and final songs.
Score out of 10.
3.
Okay.
I mean, I would watch it again for sure, but I don't think it's... Or, I mean, if my kid is like, I want to watch the Descendants movies, I'm not going to skip over this. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
We have to put this one in there.
I thought this was the worst of the bunch. For me, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh wow! You just went right in the order. They just get worse for you.
They do.
Mine's at least like a stock market crash.
I didn't like it. The songs were kind of lackluster. The story didn't really have the depth that the first three had. Not to say that there was a lot of depth there.
But the wigs in this movie.
There was a lot of wigs, and they did a lot of effects to make them look like toxic waste.
The wigs.
They were like neon. But I don't know. I like the first three.
Okay.
The first two especially. Not good, but good.
First one's probably the best.
Yeah. All right. If you like this as a podcast, be sure to check us out. We're Backseat Critics. We got more content coming your way.
We up.
You are now listening to the Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.